morning to you, boys and girls. It's Thursday, the 6th of June, 2019, boys and girls. The 75th anniversary commemorations in Normandy of D-Day this morning. I've been watching all the stuff on the television this morning since about 7:45. The BBC are out there at the new memoriam thing. And I got to say, I was thrown a bit by Naga from BBC Breakfast, sitting there on, of all things, the red sofa. I can't believe the BBC shipped out the red sofa from the studio to sit outside the warm. It just looked a bit odd to me, didn't it, you? I mean, it was wonderful to watch it. The President Macron from France and Theresa May standing there together, thanking and, of course, remembering all those thousands. You just can't get your head around the numbers of the thousands and thousands of people that went over there to fight for our freedom. And, of course, all those people that died and all the old fellas are just sitting there. And, you know, you can imagine what's going through their minds, really. Why did our friends die and not us? And not us, you know. They're still sitting there. And it was wonderful. Very, very moving indeed. Very, very moving indeed. They played the two national anthems, of course, the French one, da 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 da. You know, not all that busy. No, sorry, that's the wrong one. Da 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 da. That's the one. I get confused with national anthems. I quite like national anthems. Some of them are really good across the world, aren't they? I like, in particular, the Israeli one. I quite like the Israeli one and the Russian one. The Russian one, the Russian national anthem. If you look it up on YouTube, and you will find a hall full of, I think it's quite an old video actually. It's got to be about 10 years old. But there's like I'd say a hall, more like a big theatre, and there's hundreds of children singing the national anthem. It's very, very moving indeed. But of course, back to the D-Day. It's not a celebration. Is it a celebration? You know, I sometimes wonder if the word celebration is used at died, if you see what I mean. And yes, we are remembering the fact that, hooray, we're all free because of that. But on the other hand, so many people died. All the papers are full of it this morning, of course. I think really made it all very real for me. I have to say, when you all got those little boats going across the water and what have you on all day, and it is wonderful to watch. Very, very moving to watch that. Okay, welcome along, boys and girls. I just want to say a special hello this morning to Paul and Lou, who have managed to be there at the beginning of the show. How did you manage that? Christ, what did you do? The today's show is starting out and all that business. Is that what you need to remind you? Morning to you two. Hello to Joanna. Good morning, Joanna. Joanna, I just want to put your mind at rest, okay? Don't worry, you haven't missed any singing yet. I haven't sung yet. I haven't sung yet, Joanna. All right, darling. Morning to you, my sweetheart. Good morning to Social Media John, who's on the Periscope. We don't usually get Periscope messages, but good morning to you. He said, I saw that too on the television this morning. It was like the holiday programme. Well, it was. I can't believe she was sitting there on that red settee. And she was quite close to the memorial as well, wasn't she? I found it very odd. Where were all the, you know, like you get sometimes when television crews go out and, say, for example, the Houses of Parliament, and one lot took, you know, the BBC. You might be watching the BBC and you can see the BBC one, and then just to the right, you might see the bloke from Sky, and the one on the left from ITV, and the one from CNN, and they're all gathered around. She's the only one I could see there. Maybe the others couldn't get their sofas out. I don't know. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, that I've got to say. The BBC breakfast sofa sitting outside in France in front of a memorial like that. Unbelievable. I don't know who decided that was a good idea. It would have been much better had she been standing. Also, I don't know whether she could not see the auto cue or something. Her head was down in her lap, reading her notes all the time rather than looking at us. But it looked, my guess is, the sun was shining sort of near the camera and she couldn't read it. Maybe it just wasn't bright enough. I don't know. Morning to Claire. Morning, lovely Claire. Hello, my darling. Paul and Lou says, my granddad was 21 and got killed in World War II at the time. Seeing that yesterday really shows how lucky we are. I'm really not sure we'd be as loyal to the cause as they were. I don't know really, Paula. No, I think some people are. I have to say, you have to look around sometimes. Certainly, the stuff going on in not in only in this country, but other countries as well. And you have to ask, was it all worth it? Was it all worth it? No doubt the Liberals will all be out there saying, oh, we shouldn't be celebrating this, you know, people having wars and this, that and the other. You know they'll be out in force at some point. Oh, God, yes. Stupid people, I'm sorry, stupid people coming out with that sort of stuff. Good morning, Peter Lake, who says it's a wonderful morning in Woodhall Spa. It's been busy in the garden all week, taking out the weeds of patio bricks, cut the grass. Oh, you're busy. You're a busy morning for you, I can see that. Good morning to you, Peter. Over on Facebook, first message of the day to the delightful Tommy Flynn. Good morning, Tommy. Craig McKenzie in the house this morning. Morning, Craig, who's from the glass back. Craig is in his shed. He lives in a shed, Craig. Yep. He lives a bit cold in the winter, you know, but he puts a little fan heater on, electric blanket. As long as he doesn't wet the bed like Paul alluded this morning. Dreadful. Morning to Diane Jeb. Hello to Hong Wong, who likes the nice view. Thank you, Hong. That's the view right at the beginning of the show there, directly in front of the caravan. I've started making a few little extra bits of film. That long film you see at the beginning, it's made up of lots of parts. Now, good morning to Maureen, joining us this morning. Morning, Maureen. So all these parts are like, if you can imagine a line in front of me like that, let's use this unused, I'm so glad it's an unused one, an unused tissue. You imagine a line like that. So that bit of film is there, 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 and the music is underneath it, right? Now, I have that as a kind of thing there, and then I join them all together and save the lot, right? But I've still got it in its bits like that. So what I can do is take out that bit, say, for example, the castle. I could take out the castle and put another bit in there, okay, to keep it sort of a little bit fresh. So I've been doing a couple of little bits of films, and I've got the sea in Skegness, which we did the other night. Although I've got to check that the picture isn't a bit shaky. It was really windy. And I didn't have a tripod with me, but even if I did, it's incredibly difficult sometimes to keep a camera, because they're not, I mean, it's only an iPhone that I do all this with. It's difficult to keep the camera not shaking in the wind, you see, whether it's on a tripod or just being held. And I was holding it, trying to hold it very still, so I don't know how it's come out until I put it on my computer at home and look to see if it shakes. If it shakes too much, I won't use it. So I managed to get the sea in Skegness in its roughness. It was a bit rough the other night. And also a lifeboat, which I'd like to insert there somewhere and do stuff like that. So it's quite easy to change everything like that. Morning to Alan Carruthers, who's a big fan of our karaoke nights. Good morning, Alan. He's always there watching those. Hello to Michael Lawrence. Good morning, Michael. LaBelle is there. The green-eyed love god. Oh, you noticed my eyes are a little bit green, have you? Most people think they're blue. A lot of people think they're blue, but you're quite right. They are indeed green. It's funny how you notice that sort of thing, LaBelle. It's almost like you like me. It's almost like you like me like that. She thinks I'm like her builder ex-boyfriend, doesn't she? I'm nothing like him, believe me. I don't mind trying a little bit of DIY now and again. My favourite DIY thing that I use is called No More Nows. Have you heard of this? No More Nows. There's several different brands out there. And it's a tube of stuff and you cut the end off. And you put it perhaps on a wall or something. And then you push whatever it is that's got to go up there. Perhaps a bit of tape to hold it for a while. After a few hours, you take the tape off and it's up there. Oh, it's wonderful stuff. I've fixed everything. The entire caravan has got little bits of No More Nows on it, holding stuff up now. It's fantastic stuff. It's even fixed my rotting wooden veranda outside. There's certain bits of the veranda, if you put a screw in, it literally just falls into the veranda. It's so rotten out there. But if I use No More Nows, it sticks fine. Great, it really is. Morning to Agnes Higgins McNelly. Good morning to you. Ray Reynolds in the house. Good morning to you, Ray. Michael Pullman. Hello to you, sir. Adrian Richardson. Good morning. Tony Power is not a fan of Naga Monchetti. Can't put a finger on it, but I just find her annoying. I've started to find her annoying as well, Tony. I find her a little bit know-all, Miss Know-all, you know, one of those, Miss Know-all. And she's kind of smarmy sometimes, depending on the guest. You know, she clearly doesn't like other women on the show either. Oh dear. Right. Let's just swap over there. Everyone's talking to each other, and that's nice as well. So I got this message up this morning, actually, when I fired up the older computer. I've got two computers here. One is very old, and the other is a laptop that it's the same laptop I used to do the karaoke streams. And I got this message up this morning, Windows 7. And the message came up, support for Windows 7 is nearing the end. After 10 years, support for... That's how long it's been here. And Windows 7 was a bit of a game changer, wasn't it? Do you remember? Before Windows 7, my computer used to crash like there was no tomorrow. You'd be doing something and suddenly the blue screen came from nowhere. You didn't even need to open something sometimes. You'd be just there to... Oh, it's gone blue again. Oh, Christ, I've got to have to restart it. Well, since Windows 7, that doesn't really happen anymore. Actually, it's probably XP. Isn't it XP first, then 7? Yeah, it's XP. From XP, Windows stopped crashing. And then 7, you know, hardly at all. Since Windows 7, I don't think my computers crash at all anymore. They're so much better than they used to be. Anyway, it says support for Windows 7 is nearing the end. After 10 years support for Windows 7, it's coming to an end. We know change can be difficult. So we are here to help you with recommendations on what to do next. And it says, number 1, back up your files and photos. Save your personal files and photos to OneDrive or to an external hard drive. Well, of course, OneDrive, you only get so much, don't you? And then you have to pay for it. So they're trying to get money out of you there, I think. Number 2, check out the latest PCs. They're trying to push you to buy another PC. And then get tips on Windows 10. But it says, we think you'll feel right at home on a new PC with Windows 10, but if you have any questions or want to learn more, we've got lots of tips or tutorials. It says that thing, check out the latest PCs. Not only are new modern PCs fast, which they are, yes, and durable with batteries that last longer, the average price for a great PC is considerably less than it was 5 to 10 years ago. Oh my God, yeah. Oh, well, I think I paid nearly £1,000 for my first computer. Now... if I was to replace this old computer here in our Lincolnshire television studio complex, I probably wouldn't spend more than 400. You know, it's important to buy a computer for what you want it for. Don't be hoodwinked by, oh, that's a great word, isn't it? Hoodwinked. Don't be hoodwinked by all the offers of free software. You get all this free software. When you see that, I want you to look at the software and be honest. Do you think you will actually use any of that software? Because quite frankly, these computers are loaded up with lots of software and you don't use half of it. And don't be buying Windows Office or something like that. There's a perfectly good free one, which I use, which name has gone from me now. Oh God, what is it now? Free... let me see if I can turn alternative Windows Office. Let me think of what it is. It opens. Gosh, I can't remember what it's called now. Is it Open? Is it Open Office? Is it called Open Office? Gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Let me see if I can find it for you. Don't buy Windows Word or anything like that. 1 second now. Oh Christ, I can't find it now. Look at that. Tech Radar. No, that's not it. Oh blimey! Sign me up to this. Sign me up to that. No, I don't want it. I'm really sorry. I can't find that now. Oh, isn't that bad? That's dreadful. That is. I'm just. It's Open Office or something. Anyway, it's a free software, and you can do typing on it. You know, like word processing. I think PowerPoint's on there and stuff like that. and you just type it in, alternatives to Office. But you don't want to buy anything like that. So when they're giving it all for free, but it's not for free, because what you'll get is you'll be able to use your free version of Office for like 14 days, and then they'll make you upgrade, you see. So don't be fooled by all this free software they give you on computers. Make sure what's on, you know you're going to use some of it. Otherwise, what's the point in paying out for it? So there we are. I think they're all trying to push us all to new computers once again. Let's have a look. Where are we now? Tony, thanks to everyone who's supporting. Oh, he's got a new single out, Holding Back by the 3 Degrees. We like the 3 Degrees. Excellent. It's got a huge success on there, so thank you very much for that. Good morning to Brad this morning. A very good morning to Brad. Welcome along to you. And Michael Lawrence, can you download Windows 10? It depends on your computer. I don't think this one is good enough for that. I might give it a go, actually. OpenOffice, is that the one it's called? OpenOffice, hang on a minute. Let me look. That sounds about right. OpenOffice. That sounds about, yes it is. OpenOffice, that's the one. Apache OpenOffice, A-P-A-C-H-E. Thank you, Tony. Apache OpenOffice is the one that's like Word and all that, except it's completely free. Fantastic, fantastic. LaBelle doesn't own a computer. Never had one, just uses his phone now. I can understand that as well. Phones are a lot easier, aren't they? Rather than sitting there firing up a computer like that. Paul and Lou had a new PC that had Windows Millennium Edition. It was shocking. We got the deadly blue screen every other day. Yes, I had a millennial... would have liked millennials, aren't they? Isn't it funny? The Millennium computer was just like millennials and was always complaining all the time. Now, excellent programme for you to watch, boys and girls. I got into it big time yesterday. It's called Gentleman Jack. Gentleman Jack, it's on BBC One, colour. I think on Sunday nights. It's also on the BBC iPlayer. I, of course, have been watching it on the BBC iPlayer. And yesterday I watched 3 episodes of it. It's really very good. It's an old drama, you know, in the old days. And its main character is Gentleman Jack, who is a girl. It's a female, but it's she's lesbian. And she fancies the other girls. And, of course, in those times... You know, none of this was talked about. There was no, like, gay or... I mean, it all went on all the time. Of course it did. Of course it did. But it generally wasn't talked about. And it's just wonderful. It's really, really good. And the acting is excellent. I can't recommend that enough. So that's something for you to watch there. Gentleman Jack. And it's funny. And it's sad. And now and again... And what I like... It's very clever. Very clever. What I like, so you've got the drama going on, okay? And she doesn't overdo it, but now and again, the main character will look straight at the camera and talk to us, like you and me. So she might be doing some acting and that, and she might not say anything. She just give a wink and she look at the camera and go like that. So she's talking to us as well, which I think is incredibly clever how they've done that. So do give that a go. Gentleman Jack on the BBC iPlayer or on BBC One Colour on Sunday nights, all right? Good news about the shorts. You remember I lost my swimming shorts the other day? They were at the George Mulder Leisure Complex in Boston. Yesterday I got there. I said, did you find any shorts yesterday? They're white Ralph Lauren ones, quite old, and the string has gone missing out of the... You know that string that goes around your waist? I don't need it anymore. I put on so much weight, dear, that I don't need to do this string up. Isn't that awful? So they found those in there, and I also signed up. I signed up yesterday, so I'm now, you know, a monthly. I pay a monthly fee of £29, which is much cheaper than I've been doing pay as you go. See, and every time you go there, it's £7.50. It's dear because it does include the use of the gym as well. Now I haven't said that I want to use the gym yet. If I want to use the gym, they will have to put me on an induction thing before I go in there. I don't know what that is. I have done it before, but it's years and years and years ago. I don't know if I'm interested in doing the gym, really, to be honest. I'm quite happy going in there and just doing my swimming. But it was a lot cheaper to sign up, £29 a month, than going even just once a week, £7.50 a time. Well, you've only got to go once a week, haven't you? And you saved your money straight away. You see, let me just turn this off. This is annoying me. I've got something on in front of me there. So that'll save me a bit of money going down there. The other reason I like to go in the gym side, there's a swimming pool side and there's a gym side. If you go in the swimming pool side, you can only go at certain times. If there's a class, then they close that side. But the gym side, it's the same pool, but this pool is massive. On the gym side, they have 2 lanes that you can continue using. So we can go at any time by paying an extra £2.50, I think it is. Also, the showers are better on that side. Although they've got those blooming buttons where you push them and you get about 30 seconds of water. How annoying are they? But I found a way around that. Oh yes, if you get your little key, you know the key for the locker, it's got like a plastic thing. If you put that around the button and pull it, tighten it, then it holds the button in place. So the cascades of water coming down and making my body clean, boys and girls. You don't want some dirty old git sitting here in the morning, do you? No, you want me clean. So I am clean. Well, at least I am after I've had a swim. So that's good. After that, I went to B&Q. Now, next to B&Q in Boston is a Lidl. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I fancy a small bag of crisps. I wasn't going to go too mad. Just a small bag of crisps. Unfortunately, they only had multi-packs in there for, well, I'll have 2. I'll treat myself today. I'll have two out of the multi-pack bags because they're quite small. You know the bags of crisps in multi-packs? They're actually smaller than normal bags, aren't they? So I've had a couple of those as I'm walking around B&Q. I hate to tell you this, but I had the entire multi-bag things in the space of a few hours yesterday. Isn't that awful? By the time I'd finished going around B&Q, I had 4 bags. 75. This is about 75. Terrible. Terrible. That's why I can't have these things in the house. And later on that night, I had the last 2 bags. Dreadful. All those crisps, absolutely dreadful. Never mind. Anyway, I was in B&Q. I bought some of those big daisy plant type things, and they've not flowered yet. And a couple of pots and some earth in there. Lunch yesterday. I come back here, done some. Yes, lunch after the crisps. Yes, I know. Lunch was some Linda McCartney's sausages, a little bit of potato, and a load of vegetables. And then I thought I'd hoover the caravan. So I hoovered the caravan. And you remember, I've still got the hoover here that sucks too hard. I mean, it really does. It's a bit of an effort to push it along. On the other hand, it gets all the fluff and dead things up out of the carpet, if there are any dead things in the carpet. Awful. The only problem was, on the lino, it sucked so hard it wasn't picking it up. So it must have made a seal, you know, and it was making as the lino was being just sucked up. I've worked that out. What you have to do is unconnect the pipe, you know, the extension pipe. If you unconnect that, it lets go of a lot of the suction. So it is still sucking, right? But not as hard. You take that and it does the lino beautifully. Picks up all the bits and pieces on there. Not that there is many bits and pieces. I do try and keep my caravan clean. I've got to be honest with you. My caravan is kept a lot cleaner than my house. I find it very easy to keep the caravan clean. Yes. So there we are. So if you want to be invited, don't come to my house. Come to the caravan, dear. Don't just turn up unannounced. A couple of people have threatened to do that. Someone threatened to buy a caravan on the same site as me. I said, well, don't think you're going to come round here and drink tea all day long. I like to be left alone, thank you very much. I like to be on my own. That's why I'm here, on my own. People, oh, hello, Chris, how are you? Go away. I like the peace and quiet. Those vegetables I had frozen vegetables. This time I had a couple of big, large frozen bags of bird's eye ones, and they come in a little packet. So you get a big packet, which I think contains 4 little packets. And you just take out, I actually have 2 of them. I take out a little packet of vegetables, and I've got the bird's eye ones this time. And I've got to be honest with you, far, far better quality, the bird's eye ones, than other brands that I've been buying. I mean, they are, of course, market leaders. But in the bird's eye bags, everything looks perfect. You know, the carrots, the peas, the broccoli, the cauliflower, the sweet corn. It all looks very colourful and perfect. And I kind of wondered how much non-perfect vegetables have to be thrown away to make that little bag of perfect ones. They are far, far superior quality than the cheaper ones I buy. But it makes you wonder. Maybe they, I don't know. Maybe they send the carrots to the Audi. I don't know, somewhere like that. Let's have a look. I went outside and done my plants after that. I had a little bit of a sleep. Someone suggested I reset the TV. You know, I've been having problems with sorting out all the channels on my Toshiba TV. I've already done that, actually. I've actually already done that. So I just put up with it, really. But I wouldn't recommend you buy a Hitachi. Is it Hitachi? Toshiba. I wouldn't recommend you buy a Toshiba telly. Very difficult to set up the channels on those. Not easy at all. I've looked around on the internet. No real help on there either. And that was it. Last night my sister arrived in Cyprus. She texted me as soon as the plane landed. And I rang her straight away. And I said, how was it? She said, my sister doesn't fly a lot. She said, the flight goes on and on, doesn't it? I said, what, 4.5 hours? I said, do you want to try going to Australia or America? You know, Florida or New York or Vegas. Or Vegas is a long way. I said, fly there. She's moaning about being on a plane for about 4.5 hours. That's all. And she went on easyJet. I said, did you have anything to eat or drink on there? She said, well, we just bought a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee and an easyJet flight, £2.50. Jesus. £2.50 for a cup of coffee on a plane. Shocking, isn't it? And that was it, really. Today I'm going to have my haircut today. And I'm going to see my nephew later, little Jimmy. I say little Jimmy, he's 22 now, but should be seeing him a little bit later, hopefully. Good, right, so some of your messages. 1 moment, please. Tony says he's got Windows 10. I've had it for years. It's really good. Yes, I mean, two computers at home, and 2 laptops, they've all running Windows 10. You're right, and it never crashes. Windows 10 doesn't crash. Okay, it has maybe on my laptop that I use for work, it's probably crashed 3 times in 2 years. So I'm not complaining about that. But Windows 10 is much better. LaBelle says that's called breaking the fourth wall when actors talk to the audience, even on TV. Is that a fact? I didn't know that. But I thought it was very clever how it was done. It was, as I say, it's an old type drama, you know, filmed as it was in, I think, either the 1700s or the 1800s. I would imagine the 1700s, actually. I don't know the exact date of the period of which we're supposed to be looking at. But the way she just looks at the camera, all the drama going, fight, fight, fight. And she look at the camera and go like that, straight to me. Fantastic how they've done that. I don't think I've seen that done, but I think I might have done in a couple of films, but not on a TV series. Really good. Let's have a look there. LaBelle, you signed up to the gym because I told you about my ex. You want to be a builder too? No, I couldn't be lifting all those bricks, dear. I can't even buy the large bag of earth at B&Q. I have to get the smaller ones because I can't lift the damn thing. They do these massive bags of earth like that, right? Which, if you buy those, you probably save £1 or 2 on the price. But you can't lift them. I mean, you can get a couple of lads out of the B&Q. Can you help us in the car? And they'll happily do that. But then you've got to get it out the other end, haven't you? No, it's better to spend the extra 50 pence and buy 4 smaller bags, I think. A vacuum that sucks too hard. Who would have thought that? You should hoover. We can control sucking on it far better than we can control... What are you saying? Control the sucking. A little knob which I can push up and down. I haven't got one of those, Adrian. There's no knob on there to push up and down, I'm afraid, dear. There's nothing on there. It's the weirdest hoover. It's literally on or off. That's it. You want to see the fluff that it pulls out of the carpet, though? There'd be no carpet left in a couple of weeks' time. Honestly. Right, let's do some stories for you this morning. Oh, let me just scroll down there. There we go. Let's scroll down there. Amazon. Now, what do you think about this? Now, you know, I'm sure some of you have got one as well. One of those Ring doorbell alarms. Now, there are other brands that are on the market. I have a Ring doorbell alarm. Now, one thing is I didn't know that they were owned by Amazon. This story at the Daily Mail this morning. What do you think of this? They're talking about the US, but it could be the UK as well. It says in some neighbourhoods across the US, police are leveraging the growth of home security devices like cameras sold by the Amazon-owned Ring. So it's Amazon owns Ring. I didn't know that. To establish vast surveillance networks. According to a report from CNET, more than 50 local police departments across the US have partnered with Ring throughout the last 2 years to extend their surveillance capabilities into suburban neighbourhoods. The cameras, reports CNET, are sometimes offered by law enforcement to residents at discounted prices or even for free, with the contingency that users turn over the footage on request. So these are the little cameras that they actually do several different products, one of which is like a doorbell, and it's like a little square thing like that, and it's a doorbell and it's got a little camera on it. And as mine does, if anyone, you don't actually have to push the button to start the camera off. If anyone walks in front of my camera, immediately it starts recording them. And the recording is not held on the camera. The recording, the camera switches on and immediately starts streaming the video to a server somewhere. So if anyone goes, oh, there's a camera there, and nicks it, too late, already got you. And what they're saying is that the police want to use these. The story in the Daily Mail says in towns like Bloomfield, New Jersey, CNET reports that neighbourhoods are essentially blanketed with the devices, turning suburban streets into hotbeds for ceaseless surveillance. Our township is now entirely covered by cameras, Captain Vincent Kearney, Detective Bureau Commander of the Bloomfield Police Department, told CNET. Every area of the town we have, there are some Ring cameras. What do you think about that? Would you be happy with that? I think I would. You know, so if someone is burgled up the road or something like that, police would come to you and say, oh, hello, someone's burgled up the road like that. We need you to hand over your recordings. I delete mine every couple of days. There's nothing on there that I want to look at again. It's just there if something happens. In fact, my brother-in-law has got one as well, my sister's house. And they had a car battery stolen from outside their house. You may remember that a few months ago. And the camera picked this up and got a really good image of the bloke, which my brother-in-law gave to the police, and we posted the picture. Oh, they didn't catch the bloke, unfortunately. But nevertheless, it would have helped. You know, anyone who's seen that and might have known him, it was a great help. I don't really have a problem in that. I'd be happy for the police to take my video off the feed as and when, whether they want it live or someone pushing my button. I mean, I'm not doing anything dodgy. I think it's an excellent way of extending security cameras to all parts. I think in this day and age, unfortunately, such a thing is necessary, in particular in cities and towns. So I don't know what you think about that one, boys and girls. Let's see what you're saying. Would they want ones in one's bedroom, the cameras? I'm not sure. I'm a very private person. No, I doubt very much that they want one in your bedroom, Adrian, especially your bedroom. You're a bit old for people to be wanting you doing anything dodgy, aren't you? LaBelle, here in the US, we have a lot of doorsteps there with stealing packages, so it works. The problem fails when it's taping on other things. Yeah, I see what you mean. I think my mate's had a couple of Amazon packages stolen outside his house before, you know. Yeah, because the Amazon people, they're just, some of them are all right. I have a special place, you know, so if I'm out, they know to put it in a special place, and my camera would be able to see them putting it in that special place, so they couldn't say, oh, well, we left it there. I think they have to take a picture now as well, don't they? But I think that, you know, the picture thing isn't like 100%, because what could happen is that a delivery man could put a box down, take a picture of it, and then pick the box up and go away again, couldn't they? So I don't think you can win there either. Strange and mysterious, that's what it was. Strange and mysterious. Let's have a look there. Okay, 1 minute. Right, what else have we got here? Now this is a horrible story. Horrible story, this, and not to be laughed at. It's a serious story. Horror ordeal. This is in the Sun this morning. A teenager hasn't been able to eat for over 10 years, okay, after her intestines were ripped out of her body during a horrific swimming pool accident. Now, you wouldn't imagine something like this could happen, would you? The girl still chews food at home so she can taste her mum's cooking, but she has to spit it back out into a plastic bag, and I'll tell you why. In the Sun this morning. While on holiday with her family in Egypt, just 5 years old, Salma went to play in the baby pool. Her pregnant mum was watching her older brother in the adult pool. The girl, Salma, ended up accidentally sitting on the pool's suction valve. And the force was so strong that it tore her intestines from her body before anyone had the chance to pull her away. I mean, can you just imagine the pain of that? Awful. So it's probably she must have come out of her bum. Literally. Her intestines sucked. Oh, it's just dreadful. I know, thought of that puts the hairs up on your back, doesn't it? She says, I was just swimming and all of a sudden I just sat on this valve by accident. So it can't have been that eye. This is a little girl. You know, wouldn't you think something like that would be covered in some sort of, I don't know, some sort of net or mesh thing, and then it, you know, it wouldn't be right next to it, it would be far away, wouldn't it? She says, I know the lifeguard tried to pull me out and he couldn't because the suction was so much. My dad tried to pull me out, and then I know a couple of people finally were able to get me out and I was taken out. It was so traumatic. As she was wearing a red swimming costume, Salma's mum, Dena, thought that her daughter's small intestines were just torn swimsuit. I see, yeah. I found someone carrying her and all her intestines came out from her body. I couldn't believe it, that it was intestine. I thought at the beginning it was her swimming suit, she said. God, she was given just weeks to live. Her family travelled to Pennsylvania for life-saving surgery. After raising £236,000, that's about $300,000, and waiting for a year and a half, Salma was also given a transplant. But her body rejected the small intestine transplant, and 6 months it had to be removed, along with her large intestines and gallbladder. I mean, wow, I mean, God. Her stomach is still an open wound which needs dressing every day. My stomach was open so bad we could literally see my insides. It's healing slowly, but it's not getting healed anymore. It's filled with tissue, so thankfully you can't really see any insides or something, but it's leaking all the time. Gosh, because of that she is homeschooled and needs a wheelchair to get around, and it's rare that she goes a month without needing to be rushed to A&E. Every hospital visit costs a lot, but because her family are only in the USA on a visitor's visa due to a medical condition, she can't get medical insurance. Her mum's a qualified doctor in her own country and isn't allowed to work in America. Doctors have warned the family that if she needs another transplant, she'd have to have 5 organs replaced as well. A 5-organ transplant would cost about £2.4 million. I mean, who's got that? She's got a total parental nutrition bag, which is hooked up to her body and gives her all the necessary nutrients. It's a bag full of fluids with the nutrition you need, such as calcium, sodium, glucose, all the vitamins and everything. I'm hooked up to that 20 hours a day. When it first gets hooked up, it's about 15 to 20 pounds, so it weighs a lot as well. Gosh. I mean, how on earth does something like that happen, eh? Will someone sit on some sort of extractor fan? And it's just dreadful. It's just dreadful, absolutely dreadful. The studio has gone. It has gone a bit dark suddenly, hasn't it? Why is that? My thing's gone a bit dark. I don't know why that is. 1 minute. Let's just try and do something. Let's just do that and do that. There you go. Better. All right. I don't know why that went dark then. Very strange. It's very strange and mysterious things happening here. I think are we being infected? Are we being infected by a virus this morning? That could be it. Joanna says the picture keeps getting dark as well. You can barely see you. There you go. We're back on there. Back on there. Sorry about that. LaBelle says that's depressing. Yes, it was. Just a story that I came across this morning. I thought that's a really unusual thing to hear, something like that, isn't it? There we are. Your TVs haven't gone dodgy. Don't worry. You don't need another 50 pence, Alan. All right. Okie doke, gang. Let's pull this up a little bit. Average person, how much do you scoff each year? Eh? How much plastic do you scoff each year? Again, in the Sun this morning, the average person eats up to 120,000 tiny pieces of plastic each year. Now, I'm sure, like me, you're pretty careful about removing all the wrappers, or if you're on the ready meal business, cutting around the outside and removing all that plastic. Plastic dust. I bet you've never thought about that one, because I certainly haven't. Not until I read this morning. Plastic dust is released into the environment by everything from carrier bags to polyester fleeces. Now, I'm not a fan of fleeces at all. I get a lot of electric shocks. If I'm sort of, those fleecy blankets, I'm not a fan of those at all. Cotton, yes. Wool, yes. Fleece, no. I don't even like a cotton fleece sort of, hybrid type thing. Not a fan of fleeces. But they are, of course, plastic, basically. The health effects are unclear, it says in the Sun this morning, but some tiny bits could get into tissues or trigger immune reactions or release poisons. Researchers from the University of Victoria in Canada analysed 26 studies on microplastic levels in fish, shellfish, sugar, salt, booze and water, and then worked out how many particles we would consume in a year. They estimate it's 74,000 to 121,000. Now, I wonder if a lot of the cancers come from plastic. Because when I was small, before plastic, there was glass and paper and cardboard. And I don't remember anywhere near the amount of cancers then as there is in the world now. Of course, there are a lot more people as well, so maybe that's something to do with it. They estimate it's 74,000 to 121,000 when adding microplastics we breathe from the air. And they say bottled water addicts glug down 90,000 more pieces of plastic pollution than those who stick to tap water. There's little bits of plastic. You can't see them. I can't see them, but they're in there. Campaigners say the global nature of pollution means the figures are likely to be similar in the UK. Professor Alistair Grant of the University of East Anglia said the scientists have not factored in our body's ability to filter out air particles. But don't breathe anymore. That's the answer. Don't breathe anymore. Someone says studies like this are a scary indication of how plastic pollution and how far it can get. What's worrying is that we don't know what this means for our health. So there we are. You didn't know that? You're all sitting there breathing in bits of plastic all day long, aren't we? Very, very frightening. Very, very frightening indeed. All right, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this Thursday, the 6th of June, 2019. Commemoration of D-Day Day today to Ben. Good morning, Ben. Ben Swedenbank, I think it is. I haven't seen you for a while, sir. Good morning to you. 31 years old. Comes along to the karaoke. I can't remember if he's sung once. I think he's sung once or twice. Good morning, Ben. Happy birthday. Ezra Isaac today is 35 years old. Happy birthday to Ezra. Robert Deal. Long time no see, Robert. 67 today. A lovely, lovely man. sometimes comes along to the karaoke. He's got a lot of trouble with his breathing and all that, so I haven't seen him for some while. Hope you're doing okay, Robert. Happy birthday to you, all right? 67 today. Chris Harris today is 48 years old. Good morning, Chris. David Grant. David Grant, I hope you're hanging in there, David. Long time no see. He used to be a regular viewer to the programme. He had a little bit of medical problems and that, but I hope you're doing okay there, David, all right? Richard Rhodes today is 50 years old. Happy birthday, Richard. And Scott Allen Jones, happy birthday to you as well. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, you can take your earplugs out now, Joanna. Can you believe that, people? Joanna really hates my singing. Why is that? And what's that noise going on over here? Where is it? Where was that? Just a minute. There's a noise. I can hear a noise. The noise. I can hear the noise. 1 minute. Is it there? Is that working? There we are. Noise stopped. Thank you. Nice. Noise stopped. That's it. Noise has stopped. All right, gang. Something's gone terribly wrong here. 1 minute. Is that it there? Something's gone terribly wrong there. Never mind. It's okay. We're going to go now anyway. Thanks ever so much for joining us for the show today. I shall have my hair cut for you tomorrow, and a little bit of this will look a bit thinner tomorrow as well. Okay, as well as going swimming. So busy all the time. Another trip to the garden centre. I must go and look at some more plants. I do like to look at plants, LaBelle. LaBelle, have you got a garden, or have you got pots? Are you in a? I assume. It's funny. I assume everyone who's in New York is in an apartment or a flat rather than sort of a little or big house. I mean, I don't know. What are you in? Are you a gardening type person? I love gardening. I just love it. Absolutely love doing the garden. Even if you've not got a garden, certainly outside here at the caravan, I don't have a lawn or anything, so it is mainly pots. But what I might do is dig some of the stones that are on the ground that are surrounding me, and I want to see if I mean, it must be under there. It's either going to be concrete or ground, and if it's ground, I could probably put a hole there and put a couple of trees or something in, because we're allowed to do anything we like to our little plots here, fortunately. And John says, I thought you were looking a bit scruffy today. Thank you, John. I do my best. I even brush my teeth before I come on air usually, or on stream. It's not on air really, is it? On stream, I even brush my teeth before I come on stream to you. LaBelle lives on Long Island. She lives in a house. We do have a garden. Do you do your garden? Can I have some pictures of your garden? Is it nice? If it's one of those places that it's got like bags of rubbish outside, don't bother. But have you got flowers and things in your garden? I do like a nice quiet garden. I really do. Michael, do you have a pond? No ponds. No water feature here at all. They can be a bit of a hard work, especially if it gets like certain weather conditions. Put all that green stuff on top of it. You may see the opening video that I play. You see with the cows. Right at the beginning, you've got to be there sort of within the first 1 or 2 minutes of me hitting the stream now button. But there's a picture there, there's a bit of film there where the cows are, and you'll notice it's all green. That is a river. And last year they were having a real problem keeping the green stuff. What is it? Algae, isn't it? Algae. I like that word, algae. They were having a real problem keeping the algae under control last year. Oh, nothing's grown yet. All right, LaBelle. Well, when you get some flowers, send us some pictures, okay? Hope you have a good day looking at all those pansies. Oh, believe me, I'd rather look at pansies than you, Adrian. And that is a true fact. Have a lovely day, boys and girls, and thanks ever so much for watching and listening. Hopefully I'll see you again at some time tomorrow. Cheerio now.